Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is part 2 of my Back to Basics series. In part 1, I showed you how I soak off my acrylic, and in this part, I will show you how I prep my nails for a lift-free application of acrylic, as well as how I apply my nail foams. So if you need help in any of these areas, just keep watching. Okay, so firstly, I am preparing the length of my nail for the nail foams. So I am trimming most of the length off of the nail and just leaving maybe like a millimeter of length so that I have a little ledge for the nail foams to rest under. I then file the nails to remove any ridges that may have happened when I was cutting my nails with the nail clipper. And this is an ORLY cuticle pusher that I got on Amazon, and I use this to push back my cuticles and also gently scrape away any skin that is stuck to my nail plate around the cuticle area and on the side walls. Now it is very, very important that you push back the cuticles properly and remove all the cuticle and skin from on the nail plate and around the side walls when prepping the nail, because you are going to run into lifting problems very soon as the customer's nails come into contact with moisture. What happens is the cuticle or skin on the nail softens when it's exposed to moisture, and it's going to cause the acrylic to lift, and that is a breeding ground for bacteria, which we do not want to have. So here I have zoomed you in to get a look at what my cuticles look like raised off of my nail plate, and I have no buildup or little buildup around the side walls, which I will remove with my electric file. Now, what I have noticed with myself and my clients is through regular maintenance and following these same steps all of the time with every service, my cuticles require less maintenance over a period of time. So it doesn't appear as bad as it has been in the beginning stages of me doing acrylics on my own hands as well as my customers. So as an insurance policy, I always go over and around my cuticles and the side walls with this cuticle bit to remove any extra bits of cuticle or skin that might get in the way of my application of acrylic. After this, I will then use my cuticle nipper to trim away any pieces of overgrown cuticle so that I have that nice clean flush cuticles all of the time. At this point, I'm going to use a medium grit sanding bit and my electric file at the lowest speed, and we're going to remove the shine from the surface of the nail by just passing this bit over the entire nail plate from cuticle to free edge and sidewall to sidewall once. We are not scrubbing the nail with the file because we don't want to thin the natural nail at all. We just want to remove the surface shine and etch the nail a little bit so that the acrylic will have something to adhere to. Okay, so nail prep is almost completed. This is what it looks like when it has been prepped, and I'm just gonna remove all of the dust, any oils or any extra pieces of cuticle left on the nail with a lint-free wipe and some isopropyl alcohol. The reason why I choose to use a lint-free wipe is because I do not like when the cotton itself sticks onto the etched nail. I just feel as if it's not sanitary, and if it gets trapped under the acrylic, I believe that lifting can be caused by that being trapped on the surface of the nail in between the acrylic and your natural nail. Okay, let's see if we can explain the foam application as simple as possible so that you can understand. At the moment, my preferred choice is the Young Nails Artistic Foams. So I start by peeling the foam off of the paper. I pop that circular tab off of the foam and I stick it to the back of the tip of the foam. This is to create structure so that the foam is strengthened, and when I'm applying my acrylic and moving the fingers around, the foam remains somewhat strong. So I'm now pre-bending my foam by rolling it in between my thumbs. This helps with applying the foam under your nail, and it also creates a pre-pinched C-curve on your foam. So once that is complete, I turn my foam around and I begin trying to get the foam under my nail as flush as possible. So you try to make sure you get from side wall to side wall the foam directly under the nail and pushed all the way up. Right? You can wiggle the foam a little bit to try and position it, and make sure you look down the barrel of the foam to make sure that it is flush under your nail. This is done because if you have a gap or a space in between that foam, you are going to have a weak application of acrylic and it's probably gonna snap. Once I apply that foam under the nail, I secure it by pressing the sides of the foam onto my skin, and then I pinch the tip of the foam and pinch coming all the way up, wobbling the foam as I go to make sure that it stays flush under that free edge. I secure my foam by pinching the entire foam at the bottom and then pinching the corrugated edge to the top of the foam together. This is so that the foam sticks and holds on to my nail really, really well. At this point, I'm just checking to make sure that there are no gaps under my free edge, and I'm also checking to make sure that the foam is not applied bent, so it comes straight out of your free edge and it just has like a straight line. It's not curved, it's not bending downward, and it's not kicking upward. Okay, so let's try this one more time. I pop the tab off of the foam and stick it to the back of the foam. I flip my foam over and I bend it. I begin to bend it gently in between my thumbs to create a pre-pinched C curve. I hold the bent foam in between my thumb and my index finger, and I try to secure it as flush as possible under the free edge of my nail. I bend and wiggle the foam gently under the free edge until I have it in place. Once I am happy with how it is positioned, I pinch the tip of the foam to start securing it in place. I work my way up to the side walls and I press the foams onto the sides of my fingers to secure it. I look down the barrel of the foam to make sure that there are no gaps. Once I'm satisfied, I pinch the bottom of the foams to finish securing it onto my finger so it does not move. And then I go in and I pinch the corrugated top of the foam for additional strength so that my foams just will not move and wobble when I'm applying my acrylic. If your foams are not applied snug and flush, you will have a weak application of acrylic. Your acrylic will snap, will break, will bend, and will not be applied as neat as it should be. When you're finished applying your foams, you need to make sure that you look at your foams from the side view because you need to make sure that the foams are applied straight. If your foams are tilted downward, you are going to build yourself some eagle claws, and if they are tilted upwards, you're going to be ending up with some ski ramp sculpted nails. Plain and simple, it's not very appealing to look at, neither is it structurally sound. So once I'm finished applying my foams, I like to go in with 1 coat of my primer to complete my nail prep. And my primer of choice is the Young Nails Protein Bond. So I apply 1 coat to all 10 nails, and the second coat I apply right before I apply my acrylic because I like to apply my acrylic on top a wet primer. So guys, we've come to the end of our second part to our mini series Back to Basics. Stay tuned for the third segment where we will be applying the acrylic and shaping and filing the enhancements. Leave a comment in the comment section below letting me know if you've learned something from this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already subscribed to my channel on your way out. Bye!